Well, South Dakota won a thriller here inside the Dakota Dome on Saturday afternoon, and thriller might not be a strong enough word, but we're going to use that one for now. Here to talk about that is head coach Bob Nielson. And Bob, you always expect emotions to run high in a game like this. We'll certainly touch on the ending, but just in general today, it was electric in here all day on Saturday.
Yeah, great environment. Full house. Fans were engaged from the very beginning. We had a great student crowd too, and certainly that energy was big for our football team.
In the first half, South Dakota State jumps out to a 10-0 run, and part of that was you had some chances offensively, a couple of empty red zone chances with missed field goals of 40 and 36 yards. So you go late into the first half then, still trailing by 10, get the interception, big turnover by that defense, and then you capitalize on it. Carson Camp hits Caleb Vanderest. That was a huge touchdown there just to give you something going into the break.
Yeah, really a tremendous play by Carson. He, created, bought himself a little bit of time, and then made a really good throw. I mean, Caleb had a window there in the back of the end zone, and Carson actually threw that ball on a line over a defender into a great spot. And, it was a huge momentum play towards the end of the half. We had not executed very well in the red zone, got ourselves off schedule in a couple of those possessions, missed those field goals, left a lot of points on the board in the first half.
So it was 10-7 at the break. But defensively, a couple of turnovers generated by way of interceptions between Jack Cochran and Jake Matthews. So a couple of linebackers getting picks for you in that one. But other than that, defensively, I think a major theme, especially the first half, but really all day long. Pierre Strong came into this game as the nation's leading rusher at over 1,100 yards on the season. He was averaging almost 7.5 per carry. You held him to 9 for 20 yards in the first half. He did get to 100 eventually, but he had to work all day long.
Yeah, I think he ended up close to 30 carries to get that 100 yards. And the thing that our defense did a good job, and we knew he was going to get his yards, he was going to get his touches, is not to give up the big run. And I think his longest run on the day was 10 yards. And so we did a good job of rallying to the football, tackling, and not allowing him to get into that third level of defense.
Yeah, he's definitely a big play guy. In fact, coming in over their first 9 games, he had a run of at least 27 yards in 8 of those games. So certainly an accomplishment there with what you were able to do against him. He still did get into the end zone there in the fourth quarter to give them a 20-17 lead with about 6 minutes left. Ensuing drive, you guys move the football, get into that 4th and inches situation. What's going through your mind there on the decision to give the ball to Travis Tice?
Well, we're 3 points down. A touchdown wins us the football game. And when you've got a couple inches to go, you've got to rely on your offensive football team to be able to do that, to keep that drive alive. At the same time, we had 3 timeouts, so we still had a chance to get the ball back. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. And had to go back and play defense, but we found a way to get the ball back, and obviously the outcome turned out in our favor.
Were the missed field goals at all part of that equation when you went through that thought process?
No, we had a lot of confidence in Mason. He had made a big one, earlier in that second half to help us build that lead, and so it was just a situation where if it had been a yard or 2 that we needed, we probably would have kicked the field goal. But, we've got to be able to get a couple inches when we need to, and it was unfortunate that we didn't get that done.
So with the whole, getting stopped on 4th down, obviously South Dakota State gets the football back with about 2 minutes left. You did have all 3 of your timeouts at the start of that possession for them. Managed them well. Got into a situation, so it's a tricky situation for any coach there at the end in terms of how you're going to manage that clock. Obviously, SDSU did what it did. What did you see there on that final play? Were you pretty confident you were going to have at least one shot at it?
Yeah, I was pretty confident there was 1 second. As a matter of fact, I thought the clock actually stopped with 1 second, and then as they went to review, they took it all the way down to zeros, and felt that we were going to get a play, so immediately was on the headset planning with our offense around the fact that we were going to have a chance to throw a Hail Mary type play from a distance there where we felt that Carson could get the ball into the end zone or at least down to the goal line.
Teams always work on these late game situations, right? And for this very reason. So was this exactly how you guys drew it up in terms of what you guys wanted to do? Was there a plan, or was it, hey, get the ball to the end zone and see what happens?
Well, there is a plan. It never works out exactly as you design it, but the whole design of the play is to, it's going to be there's going to be a pile of people, and what you want to do is put one of your better athletes in there to at least try to box out, be a part of the jump for the ball, and see if you can get the ball tipped up in the air. And then we have what we call a trail guy, and then we have a guy that goes beyond the pile, and those guys were all in those positions. Our guy didn't actually touch the ball. It was actually one of the South Dakota State players, but when it got tipped up in the air, even from the sideline where you really can't see anything, when I saw it get tipped up in the air, I said, hey, that's going to give us a chance. And, the ball fortunately bounced our way. We actually had two guys in position to come down with the ball, and Jeremiah Webb did a great job catching the football and then realizing that he still had to fall into the end zone for the touchdown.
Absolutely. And for Jeremiah Webb, what a story he is. He had 3 catches all year coming in and was kind of getting ready as the season went on to get a little bit more of an opportunity, and the injury to Cody Case created that for him. And obviously this catch will go down in history, but he had a day all the way around, and what an effort from that young man on Saturday.
Yeah, he had 3 or 4 big catches on the day, along with the Hail Mary at the end. A guy that's been playing more and more over the last 3 or 4 weeks, getting more snaps. With us being a little banged up at that receiver position, a guy that we needed to lean on a little bit more on Saturday. And we've had guys like that across the board this year that when their number has been called, they've stepped up and played really, really well.
With the win, you go to 7-3 on the year. You're 5-2 in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, and here we are heading into the last week of the regular season. You got to go too far, go play North Dakota State on their home field, but with that, you have a chance to clinch a share of the Missouri Valley Football Conference title.
Yeah, it's where you want to be. Playing the last game in a position where you have the ability to control your own destiny in the conference race. And, we understand the challenge that it's going to be. You're playing, one of the best teams in the country when you play North Dakota State, playing at their place. But our guys are coming out of this game with a lot of momentum. We understand we're going to have to play better in a lot of ways than what we did on Saturday, and there's certainly areas that we're capable of doing that. But an exciting opportunity for our young men, and part of where we set out as we started the season was to be in a position to contend for a conference championship, and our guys have certainly put themselves in that position.